Hello everyone and welcome to the second part of lesson 5 on operators in Python. In the previous lesson we have discussed the arithmetic and assignment operator. In this video we are going to discuss comparison operator, logical operator, membership operator and identity operator. So let's start with the comparison operator. What is comparison operator? Comparison operator is a known operator which we are using in various subjects like mathematics and physics. It's nothing but an operator which is used to compare two or more values. Basically there are 6 different types of comparison operator, and they are greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, and not equal to. This first one is greater than operator, and next one is, let's change the line so that there is a gap. So this is the greater than, this is the less than operator, and the next one is greater than or equal to, the next one is less than equal to, next one is equal to, and the last one is not equal to. Now we all are aware that what is the use of this operator. When we are comparing two value, we are saying that the first value is more than or greater than the second value. Say, how do we write this? We write it like this, where we are saying is the value of A greater than the value of B or not. Similarly, if we are using the second one, we use it like this, and we are saying that whether the value of A is less than B or not. We are not confirming it, we are comparing it. We are comparing in the first statement that whether the value of A is more than or greater than B. In the second statement we are saying that whether the value of A or is the value of A less than B. Similarly, if we are comparing, we are saying is the value of A greater than or equal to, means either of those two cases will be correct. In the case if A is more than B is also correct, if they are equal is also correct. Similarly, less than B, less than equal to B. In this case also both the cases are correct. Either the value is less, value of A is less or equal to. In the next case we are exactly looking for equality, means whether the value of two variable are equal or not. In this case we are saying that whether is the value of A exactly equal to the value of B or not. And here it's an opposite of equal to, where we are comparing and asking whether the value of A is not equal to B or not. Means this condition, this comparison will be correct when the value of A and B are not equal. How to use them in the program. And last thing which I would like to tell about these operators are, whenever we compare two value, the result of such comparison is nothing but a boolean value in all the comparison, whether we are comparing for greater than, less than, or equal to, not equal to. In all the comparison, the result of these operations are nothing but boolean value. What is a boolean value? We have already discussed. If you haven't checked the previous video, you can go and check the previous videos. We have already discussed about boolean values in the video upon literal, so please go and check that video. So the result of all the comparison are always a boolean. And what is boolean? Boolean is a data type which is composed of only two values, which is either true or false. Whenever we are comparing two values, the comparison will either be correct or incorrect, sahi ya galat, true or false, and that is the result of the comparison. So in the above cases, whenever we are comparing two values using any of these 6 comparison operator, the result of the comparison operator will always be a boolean, which is either true or false. Now let's take some example. Let's take the example. First let's create the file, new, let's name this file as comparison. No need to give the extension. Let's declare two number. So after taking the numbers, let's start the comparison. First comparison will be print the result of num1 greater than num2. Let's run the program and check. Let's expand the result window. Let's take the first number, first time 17 greater than 12, and let's check the result. Result is true. So the first number which we are comparing with the second number is greater than the second number. Now let's run the program again and try to assign a smaller value 12 and the second value be 16. Result is false. Now let's comment this and check the second condition. Print num1 is less than num2, and let's run the program again and check the output, and let's enter the number. First number is 12 and second number is 15. Answer is true. Let's run the program again with first number as 17 and next number as 10. The result is false. Now let's comment this and do the next comparison. Next comparison is print num1 is less than equal to num2, and let's run the program. Let's enter the value, say 12 and 12. Result is true, means in this comparison we are saying that either the number 1 or the first number is less than or equal to. In both the cases the comparison will be true. So in this case both the numbers are same. Let's run the program again. This time I am going to give a different set of values, let's say 12 and 14. This time the result is also true because the first number is less than the second number. Let's check it with let's take the first value as 13 and second value is 11. So this time the result is false because neither it is less than or equal to. Now let's comment this and check the next condition. Print num1 is more than num2. Let's run the program. In this case, if the first number is more than or equal to the second number, then the result will be true, otherwise it will be false. Let's check 15 and 12. First number is greater, so it's true. Let's run the program again. This time let's take equal values to check whether it is responding correctly. Yes, it's true. And the next time we are trying to enter a value of the first number which is less than the second value, so 18 and 23, so it will be false. Last two, print num1 is equal to the second number num2, and where the last one is print num1 is not equal to num2. So let's run the program and let's first enter the equal values. So the first condition where equality is being checked is giving true and the not equal is giving us false. And if we run the program again and this time if we give the unequal values, say 12 and 13, then in this case the equality is giving false and not equal is giving us true. So in this example we have taken all the 6 comparison operator: greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to and not equal to, and we have checked in all the situation how these conditional operators are responding or comparison operators are responding. So let's talk about logical operator. Basically logical operators are used to combine or join two comparison statements. Whenever we are having multiple comparison statement and the final output has to be taken based on both the comparison, then such complex comparison statements are joined or combined together with the help of logical operator. There are 3 different logical operator: and, or, and not. So what is the use of and operator? When we combine two comparison statement with and operator, the final output will only be true if both the comparisons are true. If any of the comparison statement is false, the final result will be false. For this, let's take an example. Say we have two comparison statement, say comparison 1 and comparison 2. These two comparison statement could be anything, like it could be A more than B and the other could be B more than C, or it could be any other. This is just a sample, it could be any. So just imagine there are two comparison statement and in between those two comparison we have applied the and logical operator. Let's check the result of this entire statement where two comparison statement are being combined using and logical operator. What would be the output of these two? Any comparison statement will give us true or false as the result. So in both the cases the result will either be true or false. So the combination which could be achieved from these two comparison statement could be both the comparisons could be true. First could be true and second could be false. First could be false and second could be true, and both could be false. So these possible combinations can be there because both the comparison statement are going to give us only true or false. So if in the situation, so what would be the result in the following cases? Say in the situation where both the conditions are true and both the conditions are combined using AND operator, the final result will be true if both the comparison statements are true. In case when the first is true and second is false, the output will be false. And when first is false and second is true, the output will be false. And when both are false, the result will be false. As we have discussed that AND operator only gives a final output as true if both the comparison will give true as the result. If any one of them or both of them are false, in all such cases the final output will be false. Only true output will be achieved when both the comparisons are true. Now let's talk about OR. When we combine two comparison statements using OR logical operator, here the output will be true if either of the comparison statement is true. Say if we are comparing two comparison statements and first one is true and second one is false, the result will be true. Or either of the comparison is true. If both are true is also true. Only in the case when both the comparison are giving false result, then only the output will be false. Let's take an example where two comparisons are there and this is the result column, and when both the comparison statement are getting joined with the use of OR logical operator, and these are the following combinations, that is both are true, first one is true, other one is false, first one is false, next one is true, and when both are false. In the following cases, when OR operator is getting used, the output of the first when both are true will be true, when first one is true and second one is false will also be true, when first one is false and second one is true also be true, and only false output will be when both the statements are false. So in case of OR operator, all the outputs will be true if either or both the statement are giving true result. Only it will be false if both the statement are false. So let's talk about NOT operator. NOT operator is a unary operator, those operator which only operates upon a single operand. Now what is operand? We have been talking about operator. Let's take a simple operation, say A is equal to B plus C. So this is an expression which is representing an operation. If you look onto this expression, there are three names or three identifier being used, A, B and C. And if you look onto the symbol, there are two symbols, one is plus and other one is equal to. And in this case, A, B, C are the values on which we are operating. So B and C are being operated upon by plus or addition operation, and finally the result of this operation is getting assigned to A by this equal to or assignment operator. So the combination of this operand and operator is known as operation, where operands are A, B and C and operators are equal to and plus, and the entire combination or valid combination of operator and operand is known as operation. So what is an operation? An operation is nothing but is equal to valid combination of operand and operator. So this is an example. So now we are familiar with what is operation, what is operand and what is operator. So NOT is a unary operator which actually operate on single operand. So whenever we apply this logical operator NOT onto any single comparison statement, this reverses the result of that comparison statement. Let's take the example. Here we have to only make a single comparison and we have to apply this NOT onto that single comparison statement. So the possibility is only true and false. A single comparison statement can only be either true or false. So if I apply the NOT operator in the case when the comparison statement's output is true, the output will be, after applying NOT logical operator, the the output will be reverse of true, that is false. And when the output of comparison statement is false, the reverse means after applying not operator, the output will be reverse, that is true. Now let's take some example of these three logical operators. Let's get back to the same file. Let's delete all the previous statements. And now as we need multiple comparisons, so I will take a third variable. Now let's take an example of AND logical operator. In this case, we will be having two comparison statement. Let's make two comparison statements. Say num1 is less than num2, and in between I am applying AND operator, and second comparison is num1 is more than num3. Here we are saying that in the first comparison we are comparing that the first number's value is less than second number, and the second comparison is the value of this first number is more than or greater than the value of the third number. Now let's run the program. Now let's enter the value. Let the first number be 15, second number be 19, and third number be 12. In this case, what should be the output? Output is true. Why it is true? If you check the value of first and second number is 15, second number is 19, and the comparison says that the first number is less than the second number. So in this case, first number is less than the second number, so this comparison is true. And the second comparison says that the first number is more than or greater than the third number. So the first number is 15 and third number is 12. So this is also correct. So in this case, the output is true. Let's run the program again. Let the first number be 19, second number be say 16, and third number be say 17. In this case, what should be the output? Output is false. Let's compare this. First and the second value. First value is 19, second value is 16. So in this comparison, number 1 or the first number is less than number 2 is false, because first number is 19 and second number is 16, which is that first number is more than the second number. So this comparison will be false. Let's compare the second. Number 1 is 19 and third one is 17. So this comparison is true. So in this case, first comparison is giving us false, whereas the second comparison is giving us true. In this case, when either of the comparison is false, the final output will be false. So let's check one more example. In this case, let's make both the comparison false, say 18, 15 and say 19. Here also the output is false. Let's do the first comparison. Number 1 is less than number 2, which is false because number 1 is more than number 2. Number 1 is greater than number 2. It is also false because number 1 is less than number 3. So in this case, both the comparison are false. So in this case also the final output will be false. Now let's check the example of OR. We will just replace this AND with OR. And let's check the example. Let's run the program. So the first value is 17. Next value is say 18, and the last value is 19. The result is true. So first comparison is num1 is less than num2. It's correct. So the first comparison is true. Let's look on to the second comparison, which says that the first number is more than the third number. It's false because third number is greater than the first number. So this second comparison is false. So in this case, first is true and second is false. As we have discussed that OR will give us true till any of the comparison is true or both the comparison are true. In both the comparisons true, it will be obviously true, but in this case, first comparison is true but the second comparison is false. In this case also the answer is true, but this OR operator also give us false when both the comparison are false. Let's check that also. Let the first number be 19 and second value is 14 and the third value is 21. So in this case the result is false. Why? Because both the comparison are false. Here the first comparison say num1 is less than num2, which is incorrect because num1 is more than num2, and the second comparison said that num1 is more than num3, which is also false because num1 is less than. So in this case both are false. So OR operator only gives us false if both the conditions are or both the comparisons are false. So let's check the last one, NOT. As we have discussed, this is a unary operator. So this NOT operator is only applied upon a single comparison. So let's take the example. So here we don't need the third variable. Let's remove this and let's check print not, and where we are applying num1 is more than num2, and if this result will be true, not will give us false, and when this will be false, this will give us true. Let's run the program. Let's check the first number as 20 and next value should be 17. So in this case num1 is more than num2, so this condition is true, so the output should be false. Yes, the output is false because the comparison is true. That's why the not is reversing the result. Now let's run the program again and let's check it again. This time we are taking 17 as the first number and next number as 20. In this case first number is not more than second number, so this is false, but the not operator will reverse the result and give us true. So this is true. I hope you all have understood the three different logical operator and, or, and not. So that's all for this video. In this video we have discussed the comparison operator and logical operator. In the next video we will be discussing membership operator and identity operator. Please watch the video and please give your valuable feedback in the comment section. Thank you.